if you're like me, but I will spend way too much time just scrolling through web pages, looking at watches that I can never afford. However, occasionally I do visit AliExpress. Now, I know AliExpress, for some people, they love it. Other people, they hate it. Some of us have had good experiences. Some of us have had bad. But I was just scrolling through AliExpress recently, and I was looking for a beetle watch, something that I could just use when I'm out in the garden, or I do a bit of metal detecting, something I don't mind getting dirty or wet or scuffed up. And while I was looking through, I came across, I'm sure you've heard of them, SKEMI watches. So I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, SKMEI. They're really known for their digital watches, and I guess their Casio homages, if that's a thing. But I came across this watch, which is the SKEMI 1655. I know it's a catchy title. And I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to pull the trigger on it. I mean, this thing costs £6 shipped with a few discount codes, £6. So I kind of figured, if it's no good, no great loss. But anyway, let's take a quick look at it. Okay, so here is the SKEMI 1655. And as it says on the title, I really feel this watch has a real tactical feel to it. Now, let's just run through some dimensions before I go into the functionality of this. It's just going to be a quick review. I mean, I'm not going to spend ages on a £6 watch, but so the diameter of this thing is 50 mil. It has a thickness of 16.5, pretty hefty, and a lug to lug, again, of 50 mil. So how does that work? Well, you can see that the lug pins or screws come virtually directly in line with the edge of the case. So although this thing does have a 50 mil diameter, and usually I won't wear anything bigger than a 42, it just doesn't look right on my wrist. This thing, because of that really, really short lug to lug width, it just sits really nicely. And I'll show you a shot on the wrist in just a moment. But it has, I mean, I think it's resin, but it has some sort of like alloy bezel to it. But it's light, but it feels really solid. I was really pleasantly surprised. Okay, so let's take a look at the functionality. Okay, so this thing obviously has an analog display. An analog display can be set simply by pressing this button here at the top right. You press it, and it just moves to where you want it to. And then you take your finger off, press it again, and there you go. It stops where you put it. So very simple. There's no crown. It has a calendar. Let's go through these. Let's zoom in a bit, actually. Hopefully, let's zoom in. There we go. So you have a calendar, obviously in the American format. So you've got the month and then the date, and then the day there. Actually, let's just move this out of the way here so you can see this at the bottom a bit better. All right, so month, date, and day. And then that's your alarm. That's your time. So you can have that set as the same as the analog if you want to, or you can use it as a second time zone. Stopwatch. And a third time zone. So you can have the analog watch. You can have the time set the same here below it, which is what I usually do. And then you can have a second time zone that you just click to. And then you go back to the date. Has a great little light here. There you go. Really bright light. Stays on for about 1.5 seconds. Now it says that it offers 50 meters of water resistance. I mean, I haven't taken it diving or anything, but you know, it's going to be sufficient for, you know, being out in the rain, maybe for doing the washing up, for, you know, wash the car or something. It's not, you know, I wouldn't have thought you're going to take a watch out like this diving, but let's zoom back out again a little bit. But it does have that real tactical feel to it. Really clean, legible dial. Let me just put it on my wrist here. 1 second. Okay, there you go. So this is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Let me just take the camera back a little bit so you can see. I don't think it looks overly big. Like the strap is really comfortable. There you go. Okay, let's take it off and just talk a few bit more about some of the points of this thing. Okay, so obviously back off the wrist again now. I did forget to point out that it also has this little analog second counter at the top there ticking around. Obviously it's quartz. Yeah, something I really like about this watch, like I mentioned, it does have a tactical feel to it, but it's not over the top. Now, a lot of the watches that I've seen that SKEMI produce or that you get available on AliExpress, they just look overdone. Maybe they're too big. They have all sorts of writing and extra, I don't know, extra bits on the face of the watch that just don't seem necessary and make the watch look cheap. I don't feel that's the case with this. Obviously, it does have the compass points marked there around the bezel. But it just, I don't know, it just feels a really simple, rugged, solid tactical watch. There's no movement here at the top. So the curve of the watch here from the strap, it just conforms nicely to the wrist. None of those fake screws on the front or pretending to be something that it's not. It doesn't look cheap though. It really doesn't look cheap. The back, just 4 screws holding in place. I'm sure there's a rubber gasket or seal under there to keep the water out and the moisture out. I have worn this now for a couple of weeks on and off, and it's really comfortable. It's very light. I should have weighed it, sorry I didn't. But you kind of forget you've got it on. Yeah, I mean the watch strap, a couple more dimensions for you. So it's the strap here, the width of the top is 32, and it tapers down to 24. But you're not going to be able to fit, a different strap to this. You really are stuck with the one it comes on. It would have been nice maybe to be able to fit a NATO to it, but you know what? I just figure that for a watch of this price, you're going to wear it, you're going to beat it around. When the battery runs out, you're probably just going to ditch the watch. It's cheaper to buy another watch than it is to buy another battery. I know that's a bit wasteful. Obviously, you've got batteries at home. You could do that. Maybe pick one up off of eBay or something, or off of Amazon. But just a little suggestion there for you. If you're looking for a beta watch, looking for something that's not going to break the bank, doesn't look tacky, has a military feel to it, here's a suggestion. Now, maybe something you might want to contribute to in the comments below. Have you bought any watches from SKEMI? Have you got something that you feel, yeah, you know what? I only paid £5 for this, £6 for this. Maybe let's keep it under £10, but feel that, yeah, it's a good buy. I've used it. It hasn't let me down. Use it regularly when you're out and about, doing more sort of jobs where, you know, it could get damaged. What's your feedback on it? Which ones would you suggest? It'd be good to hear from you. Okay, so that was just a really quick review. Hopefully you found it useful. Please do comment below. Once again, if you would subscribe and click the like button, that would really help. Thanks for your time, guys. Lots more reviews in the pipeline when I get around and get time to doing it. Until then, enjoy your watches. Stay safe. Yeah, see you next time. Bye now.